Hi guys, it's Roseanne White from Live Fit, and today I'd like to take you through about a 15-minute practice to help you with de-stressing, aiding in digestion, and just relaxing from your day. This is a nighttime routine, but it can be practiced anytime throughout your day, and maybe it's your wake-up call. But the main thing for you is to know that this is a practice, not to do everything perfectly, but we're trying to move your body in different ways to help promote digestion and relaxation. There'll be some props that you'll need, and I'm just going to show you what I have in mind, and you'll probably find something at home that will be fine for you if you don't have the specific products. I have a yoga blanket, and you could use a beach towel or regular blanket. I have a bolster, and it's quite firm. So you might need to get some pillows or a couch pillow or bed pillow, but it's got to be firm, or you take a couple blankets to get that firmness. I also have 2 yoga blocks. If you don't have yoga blocks, you could check. I have an Amazon storefront where I show you the ones I recommend, or just use 2 toilet paper rolls. You may not even need blocks or toilet paper rolls at all, but I have the props available and I'll show you how to use it. Also, I have a small chair because at the very end we're going to do some legs up the chair rather than the wall. If you don't have a chair handy, an ottoman, or you might just put your legs over your bed. So just something that you can go into a 90-90 angle. We'll go into more detail about that soon. So there's 10 different poses in this practice. This is a therapeutic yoga routine. It combines a little bit of Zen, Yin yoga, restorative yoga, but I'm only be holding these postures or these poses for about 30 seconds each. I want to give you permission to stay longer in any of the poses if they feel good for you, if your body and your mind says, oh yeah, this is really good, I want to be here, stay there. But for the first time that you watch this video, or maybe the first couple times, just go through the whole routine and just feel what feels good, what feels maybe not so good. If you have any questions about any of them, just text me or email me. I'm happy to help you out because not every pose is for everybody. And some poses are for everybody. And you'll only know if you practice them. Try them, practice them, and feel what it feels like. In this practice, breathing is super important. Don't worry about it. If I say inhale and you're exhaling, just breathe. That's the main thing. We want to keep kind of moving our prana, our energy, our life force through our body the whole time. So make sure you're in some comfortable clothing. I recommend that you do this on a floor. However, it's okay for some of these poses to be done in bed. I just like to have a hard surface so that your bones can stay in better alignment. So, just give it a shot. Try it on the floor, try it in bed. But just, this is a practice. Just, again, whatever feels good for you. All right, let's begin. I'm going to move the chair out of the way. And I won't need any props right now. I'm on a yoga mat. If you don't have a yoga mat, get a blanket. Something to cover the floor, especially if it's a hardwood floor. The first posture is going to be called seated cat-cow. So I'm sitting right on the sitting bones. Now, you see how my back is flat and I'm nice and upright? If you find that even with your knees bent, you can't sit up quite well, hold on and just pull your shoulders back and tuck your chin in. So you find neutral spine, neutral posture. From here, we're going to take a breath in and you're going to exhale and drop your head and shoulders around your spine. And then you're going to stack up, inhale, hands back and arch. I'm going to add on to that. So I'm going to hug on an exhale. And then I'm going to take my hands back and lift the chest on the inhale. The belly is going to push out and then exhale. This is a version of seated cat-cow where I'm just kind of opening up through the front of the body and then exhale, close. Shake your head side to side. I'm not squeezing so hard that I'm putting tension in my neck. I just want to feel the shoulder blades separating, chin nodding, head heavy, and then inhaling, Let the throat lift, the eyes. Watch that you don't crank into your neck. Just the eyes lifting forward. My fingertips are pushing down to give me a little lift. And then exhale. Do that 2 more times with me. Inhale. Open up, pull the elbows and shoulders back, and then exhale. 1 more time, inhale. And exhale. Our spine is meant to flex and extend, so that was just our warm-up on that. Now we're going to go into a seated forward bend. It's called Utkata Pashcimottasana. Don't worry about the Sanskrit name. It doesn't matter. Just know that it's a seated forward bend. I strongly recommend you sit on a raised surface to help you. And that way, when you straighten your legs out, the hamstrings will lengthen. Now, again, we're upright to start. Know what upright feels like. And then I'm going to give you some options. Let me show you the first one. You're going to exhale, pull the belly in, and drop the head, and let the hands rest on the floor. The stretch should be more in the lower back. Come back up. If that's not comfortable, take a pillow and put it underneath your knees so that your chest can rest closer to your thighs. This actually feels more comfortable for me today, so I may just stick around here. The other thing you can do is take your yoga blocks and let your hands rest on them to feel the stretch in the lats. So we'll be here for 30 seconds. Take a big breath in and then exhale. So all we want to do here is feel the back of your body from the middle of the back, upper back, lower back, even the tailbone area, stretching open. Meanwhile, the front of the body, right at the hip creases, we're contracting, compressing, kind of almost restricting flow of blood in the front of the body. Inhale and exhale. Make your exhale as verbal or as loud as mine. Inhale and sigh it out. 1 more time. Breathe in and out. And just relax here with some normal rounds of breath. Your next inhale will prepare you to move. And then exhale, slowly stack up. Hands can come onto the bolster, tuck the chin, and come up. So that should have felt like a nice stretch in the back. And we're going to add on to that forward flexion with a little bit of rotation. So I'll move the bolster. I'm going to face you. And I'm going to sit on the blanket again. And this time, the right leg's going to stretch out. Now, if you find you're really tight behind the knee, you can place your toilet paper roll or your yoga block or the blanket, another blanket underneath your knee to get some support in the thigh. Because this is really, again, more of a relaxation. I'm not looking to try to stretch that hamstring out. So I want you to think about you're turning your ribs, your chest, your shoulders, and you're going to look at your toe. The opposite hip is anchored down into the blanket. Reach the arms up, take a big breath in. And then on the exhale, we're going to fold forward. Now, my hands are going to keep my upper torso propped. We'll hang out for a little bit and just get comfortable. Bend the elbows, soften the shoulders. Maybe walk your hands out a little bit more. Another option is to take the yoga blocks in the upright position and rest your hands there so the head can drop down. So I'm pressing my palms, my knuckles into the blocks so my head can drop between my arms. And I can feel the rib cage coming toward the thigh. Maybe the nose touches the knee. It doesn't have to. Don't worry if you're not even close. That's not the goal. But you might notice the nose right over the knee. And you exhale. And you inhale. The more you can sigh and let go, the more your brain will be signaled that the body can relax. And you let your limbs soften. You let the muscles relax. Wiggle your toes, wiggle your fingers. Your next inhale gets you ready to move. And on the exhale, you're going to either tippy-toe those fingers or walk the blocks up toward you and sit nice and tall. Always find your upright position, just for a moment. Let the head line over the hips and let the blood flow balance out here. Let's go to the other side. So this is called Janushirasana. Again, you don't need to know the Sanskrit, but I like to share that stuff with you just to know that it comes from ancient yoga practices. Rotate the ribs, the chest, the shoulders, and you want to feel like your belly button's pointing toward your big toe. The opposite thigh and hip is resting into the blanket. Okay? Remember what you can do about the knee. I'm going to use my yoga blocks. I'm going to press down to lengthen up. Inhale. And then hinging from the hips. Feel it coming from here rather than the head leading. Let the hips, the belly, the chest lead, and then start walking your hands out. And then you get to a point where it feels pretty good. You're going to soften the elbows and fold over. Now you may notice one side feels a little more comfortable than the other. For me, this is my more restricted side. So I feel the stretch in the back. I'm going to breathe into that area. And then exhale, feeling the thigh bone pulling in toward my hip socket. Shoulders are relaxed. My hands are gently pressing down into the blocks to support the weight of my torso, but I'll soften the elbows to let the chest gently come toward the thigh. Taking one more big breath in and a really long, slow breath out. Feel muscles letting go. We're now compressing into the left hip crease. That's our ascending colon. The other side was our descending colon. The other side was our ascending colon. So we're restricting a little bit of blood flow in the descending and ascending colons on this practice. Your next breath prepares you again to come up. Breathe in big, and then exhale, walk yourself back up and restack. And then come back to center. So those should have felt pretty good. We're going to go into a seated twist now. We've already rotated right and left, ascending and descending colon. Now we're going to compress a little bit deeper. I'm going to show you from a side angle what this looks like. I don't need the blocks, but I do want to keep on the blanket or the bolster. Now, if you find that your knees are really up here, okay, you're having a hard time opening up the hips, notice what will happen if you get higher onto a big bolster or several blankets, how the knees drop down. Okay, that's just going to help you to get out of there. So again, props are really, really helpful. So find what works for you, okay? I'm going to go keep on the blanket, but consider lifting up a little higher for this next posture, okay? I'm going to show you from this side. We're going to twist to your right first. So sit on to the blankets, just kind of on the edge of the sitting bones are anchored well. And you're going to extend your right leg and bring, that's it. Wrong. Extend the left leg. Got that right. Extend the left leg, bring the right knee in. Now you can hold on here. Hold on here. If this is super uncomfortable, maybe you bend that bottom knee. Again, you've got lots of options. So you find what works for you. I'm going to extend the leg out, sitting tall, clasp that interlace the fingers, clasp the knee, and sit up. This seated twist will now, once again, compress into descending colon. I'm going to hold on. Left hand holding on. Fingertips on the right shoulder. I'm going to roll that shoulder a couple times. And then rotating the ribs, the chest, and the shoulder. And lift that elbow point back. Look maybe at your fingertips, your wrist, your elbow. And then press your fingertips down and lift up. So we've got this really lovely lift of the spine, roll the shoulder, and then the eyes gaze back. Seated twist. Matsyendrasana. You can close your eyes. You can grab on with the elbow. You might even want to hold on with the thigh. Take a big breath in. Press into your finger pads as you exhale and rotate yourself a little bit more to the right. There should be no owies. It should be more ahs when you do these postures. Take one more breath. Get tall. And then exhale. You're going to de-rotate. Both hands go over to the left, and you'll just lean over. Come on back to center. Uncross legs. Shake them out a little bit, and then let's do the other side. So pick up your left thigh. Now the right leg straight. You're going to clasp, lift. I didn't mention this, but I'm going to take my sock off. I want the big toe to push down. Press down in there so you're planted. Now take your fingers and pull your knee toward your shoulder. Sitting tall. Maybe push that straight leg out. Toes are pointing up. Too much hamstring, soften the knee or cross it under like we did for the first side. I think I'll take both socks off. There we go. Nice and tall. Pull the chin in. Crown of the head reaches up. Inhale. Shoulders relax. Exhale. Now you'll place your right hand on the left knee. Left hand on the shoulder. I'm going to roll that shoulder a couple times, preparing to turn. Inhale. Exhale. Rotate belly, ribs, chest, shoulder, and look over the left shoulder while you're pulling the left knee into the right. Fingertips come down. Take a breath in, get taller, and exhale and rotate. Both of my elbows are bent, so I don't use any neck muscles, just back muscles to turn and breathe. Every inhale gives you length in your spine, a lift of the crown of the head. The exhale gives you your rotation. Let your eyes, even if they're closed, look over further to your left. And breathe. One more inhale here. One more long exhale. Next inhale, we'll prepare to move out of it. And the exhale, we bring both hands over to the right. Fingertips down. I'm going to strut my head and counter that twist. And stack up. Now, from here, we'll go into our next posture, which is called wind relieving pose. And this is one to really help. And I think I'll just keep my blanket behind me. You don't need it, but I'm going to just let my waistband come to the blanket. So I feel a little more of a drop of the tailbone. And then I'm going to keep my left foot down and hug the right knee in. Now, you see how my chin's popping here? If you find that you're really lifting up your head, let me just show you what you can do with that blanket. You'll put the head, not the neck, and now the chin drops. So check that out. If you are a chin popper, and many of us are, just put the head to soften the neck and then squeeze in. So I want you to really squeeze in really tight here and pull the knee slightly to your shoulder. If this hurts your knee, hold behind the thigh, elbows in, and just hold it. Again, I'm going to keep repeating that we're working the ascending colon on the right, compressing, then releasing, then the descending colon. And this is helping with aiding all the organs of digestion and elimination. Restricting blood flow and then encouraging reoxygenated blood flow in. Switch sides. Take a breath in, let that go. Leg will go straight for a moment. Let everything flow. Bend the knee back in, interlace, and pull the left knee in. I like to keep the other foot flat. It's a little bit of keeps my hips grounded. So I pull in, chin tucked. You can close your eyes and gently pull the knee over to your left armpit. Your back is nice and flat into the floor. Every exhale, you get a little more squeeze into the left hip, left groin area. Watch that the right knee doesn't float out too much. Keep your foot planted evenly. And let's take one more breath in and out. And from here, we'll release. Let that leg go straight. Let both legs go straight for a moment. Just open everything up here. Now, we'll go into both knees in kind of more of a happy baby, if you will. It's called Bellows pose. I'm going to call it happy baby pose. Pulling knees in and rock a bit side to side. You can actually hold on to the knees if that works for you. It's going to engage more of the middle of the belly. If that works, you can hold on here. Remember what I said in the beginning of this video. If you feel tension, neck or shoulder or anywhere, and that doesn't feel right for you, find a posture where there isn't tension. This should feel relaxed. So right now, today, this one is feeling better for me, just to keep it nice and wide. And I'm just going to keep pulling thigh bones in and rocking side to side. So these last two postures are wind relieving poses. So if you find that there's elimination, flagellance going on, let it happen. This is your time to let things go. You're in probably a private, safe space of your own. So just relax and let your muscles release any buildup of gas in the belly. Excellent. Now we've done a lot of compression in the last several poses. So we'll go into our next pose known as butterfly pose. And you're going to need a few props on this one. So I'd like you to come up slowly, one foot down, then the other. You're going to roll to whatever side feels best for you. I'm going to go to my right, pausing for a moment here just to take a second before you come up. Everything is done mindfully and slowly. Inhale and exhale and come on up. Now, from here, we're going to prop up. Either you're going to take your blankets and stack them one on top of the other. I'm going to take a bolster instead. It's just much more firm. And you have an option of putting the block underneath underneath the bolster, or leaving it flat. Totally up to you. I like to actually take the blanket at the head because that's going to give me a different kind of propping. So I have the yoga blocks available for me for my knees. I'm going to sit up against the side of the bolster, the end of it. And blocks are going to be kind of at the sides where my knees are. Hold your head and you're going to roll down nice and slow. Find the support of the blanket folded over the bolster and bring your feet together and knees apart. And just settle yourself. Wiggle a little bit. Just get into that just right place for you. Palms facing up and eyes closed. Now, again, chin's popping. Pick up your head, stretch your neck. Let everything lengthen out. You're going to feel that big arch in your back. This is known as Supta, Baddha, Konasana. We want to open everything up. All these meridians we have here, energy lines, if you will, of kidneys, liver, stomach, spleen. We're letting all these energy lines feel open and free. And I have the blocks here just to support my knees. If it feels okay for you to let your knees open up and stretch, this is your practice. Do what feels good. Today I feel the need to prop up a little bit because I want to just feel supported. Feel the bolster supporting the back. Feel the blanket supporting the head. The hands supported by the floor, and the knees and the shins supported by the blocks. And the feet are gently pressing together. You'll take a slow breath in and a long breath out. This is a favorite posture of many, many people for various reasons. You may want to do this in the morning to help stiffness in your low back. And again, you may want to use this at night to help with releasing, letting go of everything you took in from the day. The worries, the fears, the concerns, the decision making, all the things that you had to do, just laying here and taking breaths in, saying the word let, and then breathing out, saying the word go. So you let, go, and just be. Now you're welcome to stay in any of these postures for any length of time, but I want to move on to our final few postures. So prepare with your breath on an inhale. The exhale, you start moving. You'll bring one foot flat than the other. Hands will go behind your head to lift your head. And you're going to grab onto a knee, another knee, and walk yourself forward and just give yourself a little counter stretch here. Restack your spine, and then let's prepare for our next pose, which is called legs up the wall. Now, we're not using a wall because this will be a lot easier to get into for many of us. I don't need to have the bolster. I'm going to put the blanket down because I want my waistband, or just like I set myself up for the wind relieving pose, the blanket's going to be right by the butt. Then I'm going to take my chair, or you might have your bed side handy. I'm going to sit pretty close, adjusting that blanket, and then I'll put one knee and one foot in the other on the chair. Check out with your head. If the head's popping, grab an extra towel, put your hands behind your head, get some length. You might just want to be like this. Do not do this. This is not going to be helpful. If you're jamming your chin with a yoga block or a pillow, this is not helpful for your cervical spine. We want to find neutral spine. There shouldn't be a compression, okay? So maybe you take another blanket or a towel and lift your head up. So legs up the chair, knees are right above the hips, feet are relaxed. And you're going to just, again, allow the bones to sink in. Some people will put their legs up to the sky against the wall so everything drains in. But for ease and comfort for this practice, we're just going to do legs up the chair. You'll still get just as much benefit. Arms open wide. Release your jaw. Let your eyeballs be heavy. Maybe roll your head a bit side to side. And feel your tailbone, your butt really heavy into the floor, and the little arch of your back. The lower back's not pressing into the floor. It's actually kind of almost lifting off that blanket. Pelvis is neutral. Spine is neutral. Neck is neutral. And feet and calves are heavy on your chair. This particular posture is suggested to be held anywhere between 5 and 15 minutes to help either rejuvenate you if you're feeling tired and you need more energy, or just the opposite. It might be time to go to bed and you just cannot unwind and relax. Come into this posture for 5 to 15 minutes and it will help calm and relax your body. Feel stillness, feel peace. You're welcome to stay here longer if you'd like. Otherwise, we'll end this practice with our last posture. To come out of this pose, you'll walk your feet closer in, hug your knees to your chest, and then roll to one side nice and slow, and pause there for a moment. Slowly straighten one leg out, come up, but let your head turn and look to the floor. I don't want you to get lightheaded in this. Then you'll slowly make your way up, and we'll go into our final posture. You can move your chair aside, and we call this corpse pose or shavasana. This may be the time where you take your blanket. I like to put it over my stomach and chest just to keep everything nice and warm. All those organs that we just twisted and squeezed around, let's just let them feel the weight of the blanket nice and warm. So go ahead and lie down. You can move the blanket aside first. Shimmy your legs out. Make sure there's nothing in the way. Wiggle a little bit. Just feel nice and comfy here. Then you can put the blanket on across the belly, across the chest, the areas that we really worked. And then roll your head side to side. Open and close your hands a few times. Tuck the chin toward the heart. Then release it. And we'll practice 3 or 4 rounds of our 3-part breathing. So you'll take an inhale. Doesn't matter how you do it. Exhale all your air out. Place hands on your belly and breathe into the belly. Exhale, breathe out of the belly. Hands on the ribs. Breathe into the belly first, then into the ribs. Breathe out of the belly. Breathe out of the ribs. One hand on the chest followed by the other. Breathe into the belly, the ribs, the chest, and then breathe out belly, ribs, chest. Finally, one hand on belly to chest and breathe all the way up and all the way down. Hands relax, and now enjoy a few more rounds of your 3-part breathing without need of any hands, just conscious awareness. Breath in the belly, ribs, and heart. Hold it for a moment and breathe out belly, ribs, and feel the heart soften. Inhale slowly through your nose to fill up completely. Open the mouth, relax the jaw, sigh out. Belly, ribs, and heart. One more. And just like all the other poses of this practice, you're welcome to spend 5 to 10, 15 minutes. You might even fall asleep in this particular posture, and that's fine. But when you're ready to come out, we'll take care. Sliding the blanket off first, bending one knee, then the other. Gently hugging knees to the chest and rolling body just a bit side to side. Maybe rolling some circles in the pelvis in one direction and then the other. Feet come down, stretching the arms out overhead. Roll to the side. Pause there. Noticing the difference of how you feel from when you started the practice. Slide your leg out, slowly come up. And then sit in any comfortable position that you'd like. So this is your practice. This is your nighttime unwind ritual, or it might be your morning get going peacefully, or middle of the day, or sometime where you just got to take some time for yourself. Take any one of these 10 postures and work with them. Go a little deeper into them, hold them a little longer. Maybe take a few out that you don't need. I just give you a lot of options. Pick the ones that work for you. You don't have to do all 10. Maybe it's just 3 of them. But the point is, take time for you. so that you can relax, repair, restore, rejuvenate, rest to help you to live fit and age well. Thank you so much for your time today. Hope this was helpful for you. If you have any questions, again, please reach out to me. But until next time, have an amazing rest of your day. Namaste.